Problem 7 asks us to go backwards. We're going to look at an expanded form, and then we're going to try to come up with the sigma notation that expresses this idea. So the first thing we want to do is we want to try to find the pattern in the numbers. So I want to look at what all of these numbers have in common. And I can see they're all even, but even more so if I look closer, I see they're all multiples of 6. So let's factor the 6 out and see what we get. So 1 plus 2 plus 4 plus 8. So 6 times 1 is 6, 6 times 2 is 12, 6 times 4 is 24, and 6 times 8 is 8, or 48. So then I now look at the numbers inside the parentheses. Do I notice a pattern here? And they're all powers of 2. So I can write this again and say, well, let's write 1 is 2 to the 0, 2 is 2 to the 1, 4 is 2 squared, and 8 is 2 cubed. So now that I've done this, I see now the only thing that I've got going on, these are all 2's, the 6 is constant, right? But now do I see a pattern in the exponents? And I do, they're each counting up by 1 unit. So my summation, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 terms, and I was told to start at k equals 1. So that's not an option. And 4 terms means that n has to be 4. The 6 is there. I have a 2 raised to the question mark, right? So the question is, how do I express this so that when I plug the numbers back in, I generate exactly this? So if I just try to call it k, 2 to the k, because remember the variable's got to be k in here. Well, if I start at 1, I get 6 times 2 to the 1. That's not what I want there. I want to start at 6 times 2 to the 0. So I could adjust that by putting k minus 1. So now 6 times 2 to the 0, 6 times 2 minus 1 gives me to the 1, 6 times 2 raised to the 2 minus 1, which gives me, or sorry, 3 minus 1, which gives me 2, and then 4 minus 1, which gives me 3. So we can check our answer by expanding it back. And whenever you're coming up with your own formula, you always want to check by expanding it back and making sure you did it right. So 6, 2 to the 1 minus 1 gave me 2 to the 0, 2 to the 2 minus 1, 2 to the 3 minus 1, plus 2 to the 4 minus 1, and this does in fact and we know it works.